Hey guys, just wanted to do a week 5 update for Optavia. Okay, so I've lost another 1.5 pounds for a total of 15 pounds. I'm really happy. I feel like that is a significant amount of weight, and it's really encouraging because on like all the other diets I've tried for years, I seem to only lose like 5 or 6 pounds, and then I just kind of stop. Like, it just stops. I mean, it's really hard. It's really challenging and difficult to get past that kind of little 5-pound mark for me. So 15 is a lot for me. Like, I feel like, woo, 15 pounds. Obviously, I still have a long way to go. Like, I literally am looking at wanting to lose like another 60 pounds. Like, it sounds like so much, but yeah. So I have a long way to go. I'm kind of a small, petite gal. I'm about 5'3" in height, and pretty petite, and so my point is that even though I have a long way to go, I'm really happy, and I'm going to celebrate this 15 pounds. Okay, so also I was kind of hungry, so I'm eating a little fueling right now. The zesty cheddar and Italian herb crunchers, which are really good. At first I didn't like them. The first month I did not like them. I don't know why, but they grew on me, and I do like them now. They're one of my favorites. Super good. Okay. This week we're gonna go over element 7. Beautiful. Alright, so element 7 is called creating a new leptogenic world. To be honest, I had no clue what leptogenic meant, so I googled the term, and it means like a weight loss mode. So it's the opposite of obesogenic, I believe. In other words, society, they kind of endorse and promote obesity, and they make it very easy for people to put on weight, unwanted pounds, and they manipulate tastes and textures and flavors of foods that are not good for you so that you crave it more and want to buy more of it. Alright, so element 7 is creating a new leptogenic world. Okay. We live in an obesogenic world. This is a major reason why so many of us struggle with our weight. What if we could create a leptogenic world? Surroundings that help you become thin. In this element, we will focus on making simple yet powerful changes in your surroundings to make healthy choices easier. All right. You buy your willpower at the grocery store. Most people think they make poor choices and gain weight because they lack willpower. They feel low and run to food for comfort. Yep, that was me. Honestly, I just thought, man, I am just like, have no willpower. I'm so undisciplined. I'm so bad. I'll get on a diet and like do really good for like 1 to 3 weeks tops. And then I'm just like, I throw away, my willpower, and I'm just like, okay, time to binge, because it's just too freaking hard. Like, we're human beings. It's way too hard to depend on your willpower like that, So it's talking about creating surroundings, creating a world to help you get to a healthy weight. All right. that make it easier for you to make those choices. And your surroundings end up really encouraging you to make healthy choices. It becomes so encouraging that it's easy, as opposed to your surroundings just encouraging weight gain or obesity. So this element goes over that in detail. Okay. I like how Dr. A puts it. He says, over the last several years, we've discovered that willpower is not something you have or don't have, but a resource that becomes depleted and, like a battery, can be recharged. I love that. I love that concept because it really hits home, and it's the reality of it. It's the reality of it, of life. Like, willpower is not something that either you have, some people just have super strong willpower, or some people just don't have any willpower, they're weak, this, that. No. We all have it, and it becomes depleted based off of our experiences, our surroundings, etc. But the good news, like a battery, it can be recharged. It can be recharged. And with your surroundings encouraging healthy choices, it does become recharged like a battery, and it becomes easy and automated healthy choices, honestly. And it just becomes a lifestyle, and it's easy. You don't even think about it, and before you know it, you're back in your size 2. I don't know. You're feeling good, you're healthy, you're making healthy choices. It's just easy. It's natural at that point. It's because you've created a leptogenic world, as he puts it. So, okay, another major point of this element. Okay, in this element, we're going to introduce the habit of connecting time and place to coordinate where you are throughout the day and make small but critical changes in your surroundings. Okay. And the next element, this will evolve into your own personal habit clock. I like that. And it makes it easier to do the habits of health and harder to fall into the habits of disease. I like that, how he puts that, like habits of health versus habits of disease. That's really good. And honestly, it does boil down to like that. It's not necessarily, we love to make it all about weight. And yeah, sure it is, but it's not all about weight. It's honestly a matter of health. When you really boil it down, it's a matter of health versus disease, not fat versus skinny. So I love that. I love that Dr. A, he acknowledges that. He creates these accurate terms, We are, in essence, going to reduce the need to use willpower by creating a new, healthy, leptogenic world for you. So by creating this healthy, leptogenic environment, our surroundings, we're decreasing the need to use our willpower, because the surroundings are so encouraging and healthy that it's like we don't need that super strong willpower, because we're not like putting ourselves in constant temptation. That's what it is. You're not putting yourself in constant temptation. Instead, you're putting yourself in creating a world that encourages health. Okay, moving on. So let's spend some time and go through your day. We need to consider what we can do in your current day to put obstacles in place and to increase the steps needed to make bad choices. I love that. At the same time, we need to eliminate some steps to make it easier to make good choices. So very, very, smart. So he's making, the point that we need to make it harder to make those bad, unhealthy choices and easier to make those healthy, positive choices. Now, the way to do that is putting obstacles in place to making bad choices harder. If you're putting obstacles in front of those bad choices, it's harder to make them. And vice versa. In order to make it easier to make those healthy choices, you have to eliminate some of the steps to make those healthy choices. So, on one hand, you're putting in obstacles to make it harder. On the other hand, you're reducing the steps to make it easier to make healthy choices. Love that. Very logical. Yep. Makes sense. Okay. So, it gives you kind of a little visual of like a typical day in the life of the average person. So it kind of shows you, it goes through 1 to 24 hours, obviously, because we all have 24 hours in a day, no matter who you are, where you're from, what you look like, don't care. We all have 24 hours in a day. We all have the same amount of time in one cycle. Okay. So, okay, there are multiple times during the day and night when we can make interventions. We're going to concentrate on your bedroom, car, workspace, meal times, and home. So, in your home, specifically the kitchen, pantry, and living spaces. Awesome. So I really love how he like pinpoints out like times and places where we can have these healthy interventions. I love it. Okay, so first it starts off with food environment design in your home. Let's start with the center of food storage, preparation, and serving in your kitchen and pantry. All right. So, the pantry, first of all. The pantry is the place where most processed foods are stored. Unfortunately, this is true. I mean, like, so many, like, shelved foods are processed, and, like, that is not a good thing. They're processed, and they're fake, and they're bad for you, and it just sucks that we have to go through that, honestly. And we have these companies and all these advertisements that just shove it down our throats, basically. So, okay, so he's saying you'll want to eliminate all ultra-processed foods in your pantry that have sugar or refined flour as the first few ingredients. Okay, that's pretty good. Definitely agree with that. I actually, studied a little bit of nutrition in college, and yeah, that's definitely a huge topic. Is just getting rid of refined processed foods. They're just so bad for our bodies. I mean, aside from like weight, they're so bad for us in so many other ways. Like in so many other ways, it's really not just about weight. They're very inflammatory, and they're linked to causing diseases. They make you feel bad. They're just not good. They're not good. They're not natural. They're not real. And yeah, I mean, that's why so many people nowadays are talking about whole foods and going on whole food diets. And I'm sure you've heard of Whole30, I believe, where you eat nothing but whole foods for 30 days. And people are realizing, like, dude, refined, fake, processed foods are just altogether bad for us. And they're so addicting. That's another thing. It's like a drug. They're addicting. Like, honestly, sugar is so addicting, and it's so easy to get addicted to sugar. It's not cool. Anyways, moving on. Okay, so Dr. A says, it's not your fault that you're struggling. We talk about how the food industry encourages you to consume large amounts of ultra-processed food by manipulating taste, salt, and texture. They are also responsible for creating sugar and refined flour addiction. Yep. Now, our fuelings on Optavia are designed to do the opposite. So fuelings is used generically to mean giving the body energy through healthy food, and also to describe our prepackaged meals. Awesome. Now, the fuelings are designed to do the opposite because they're low glycemic, portion controlled, provide balanced protein and carbohydrates, have lower calorie, and work with the body to turn off the metabolic switches. They turn us into a fat-burning, healthy state. These fuelings are healthy food designed to help you manage your weight and health. I love, love, love that. Get rid of tempting foods that could sabotage your healthy eating choices, and don't use this time to finish off that bag of cookies you find. So, he's basically advising you to start throwing out those, sabotaging foods that are tempting you in your pantry, and just get rid of them if you can. Now, if you have children or teenagers, it says it's a great chance to either help them eat healthier, but if that's just impossible, we understand it's life, and you must keep foods for them in the house that don't fit your plan. Put them in a low, out-of-the-way cupboard and don't go near them. So that's really reasonable. It's like, if you just have family members that you have to keep those foods for them, and they're not making the same choices that you're making, and it's okay, it's life, then you know what? Okay, fine, keep them, but put them in like a low, out-of-the-way place. That makes it a lot harder for you to like reach down there and grab it. It's not like at eye level, it's not in your face, it's not tempting you. It's in some place totally out of your way and hard to reach or hard to get. And don't go near them. So that's a good tip. That's honestly like a reasonable tip. Because, not everybody's going to be on the same journey or the same page as you, and that's okay. It's life. Okay, start by getting rid of, in the pantry, white rice, white flour, white bread, crackers, rice cakes, croutons, and breadcrumbs. Hydrogenated vegetable oils, including hard or semi-soft margarine and shortenings, such as Crisco, and partially hydrogenated oils. White potato mix, cornmeal, and corn grits. Refined cereals, whole grain cereal is okay, and flavored oatmeal, corn grits, I already said corn grits. Cookies, candy, cakes, muffins, chips, crackers, pretzels, and popcorn. All right. Okie doke. Okay, so he also wants us to remember, all right, so we're not eating these foods that we're throwing out because, here's a key insight, because we have made the choice personally to create optimal health and well-being in our life. So this approach is different. This is a very different approach from when you may have told yourself that you couldn't eat these foods because they were not on your diet. Previously, you may have said, I can't, which creates a feedback loop that points out the restrictions and limitations of what you can and cannot do. It sets you up for failure because you are, in essence, saying, I am being forced to do something I do not want to do. You're giving your body a gift of health rather than a restriction of instant pleasure. Okay, out of sight, out of mind plays a big time role as we redesign our surroundings, so we no longer even have to make a decision. Another tip is to not enter unhealthy eating establishments, because even if they have healthy options, you're putting your willpower to the test. And that is a gamble. That's a gamble. It's not worth it. Okay, so then it goes on to talk about populating your pantry with healthy foods. So then it lists a few: olive oil, whole grains, high fiber breads and pitas, whole wheat flour, walnuts, almonds, and pistachios, a variety of beans, and different spices and herbs. These are all healthy choices once you have reached your healthy weight. One last note on choice architecture in your pantry: place the healthiest items at eye level. I love that. And if you have other family members that are not yet eating healthy, request that they place their processed foods either out of sight or in areas which require more work to reach. Like, that was the pantry, now we're moving on to the refrigerator. Okay, here's what needs to go from the fridge. All right, whole fat dairy products such as milk, cheese, yogurt, butter, cottage cheese, and mayonnaise. Processed deli meats, bacon, hot dogs, sugary sodas and juices, beer and wine. Foods high in calorie, fat, or sugar, including peanut butter, jellies, and salad dressings, except low fat and low calorie. Sweet pickles, relish, ketchup, puddings, and applesauce. Alrighty, and then it says, now fill your fridge back up with, and here's the list: low-fat protein sources such as lean chicken and meats, tofu, hummus, hummus, and eggs, fresh vegetables and vegetables for the freezer, condiments such as mustards, pickles, and vinegars, mineral water, sparkling water, unsweetened iced tea, olives, capers, herbs, and spices. All right, it's a good idea to run this list by your coach before you purchase the above items. Okay, now it moves on to from the fridge to the freezer. All right, here's what needs to go from the freezer: frozen fruit with added sugar, frozen vegetables with seasoning that contains sugar, orange juice, lemonade, other fruit concentrates, bread rolls, etc. Frozen entrees containing rice and pasta, frozen pizza, frozen desserts, ice cream, sorbets, cakes, cookies. Now fill your freezer back up with frozen vegetables like broccoli, spinach, cauliflower, green beans, unsweetened fruits like blueberries, peaches, raspberries, strawberries, frozen shrimp, fish, seafood without sauces, sugar, lean beef, poultry, veggie burgers from soy, beans, no grain potato or sugar. All right. Okay, then it moves on to preparation and storage. Okay, in terms of preparation, there are many ways we can use design to help us eat healthier. Awesome. One of the keys to eating less is to serve less, and this can be accomplished in 4 very practical ways. Smaller plates. Move from 12-inch plates to 9-inch plates. When your plate color contrasts with your food, the size of the portions sticks out and we sense we are eating more. That's cool. When they blend in, the amount does not register and we eat more. Wow. Buying green plates makes sense, as it's okay to eat bigger portions of green vegetables, right? During the weight loss phase, filling half your plate with vegetables can create fullness. Very true. And volume. Okay, serve from your kitchen only. So put your portion on your plate and don't bring serving bowls for seconds to the dining table. Smart. Use plates that are green and have a high color contrast with foods that need to be eaten in moderation only. For example, do not put rice or potatoes on a white plate. All right, that's really smart. Okay, large glasses of water with a pitcher of water for refill on the dining table. As we'll discuss in the future element, always have a glass of water with you, including at the dining table. Our hunger can always be diminished by drinking more water. Wow, that's so true. Other design thoughts in your kitchen surroundings. When storing leftovers, wrap any unhealthy food that family members have eaten in aluminum foil so it's not visible, so you can't see it. And wrap your healthy leftovers in plastic wrap so they are visible. Smart. Also store healthier food in bigger containers so they are more visible when going into the refrigerator, and the unhealthy ones in smaller ones, or toss them out. Once you have reached a healthy weight, display a large bowl of fruit in a high trafficked area to encourage consumption. Love that. It cannot be said enough. Do not bring anything into your house that is not healthy and good for you. To accomplish that, make sure you're not hungry or stressed when you go to the grocery store, and only shop around the perimeter of the store. One more word on emotions and stress. They stimulate areas of your brain that make you crave sugar, fat, and salt. When you start feeling that uneasy, uncomfortable feeling I like to call the icky sauce coming on, make sure you stop, drink some water, and remove yourself from any surrounding environment that has even the hint of unhealthy food. Okay, now we're moving on to the car. In the morning on your way to work, please avoid the Starbucks or Dunkin' Donuts drive-thru with the 500-calorie mocha or other fancy coffees and tempting muffins. Driving into or even by fast food joints. Places like gas stations that sell snacks, and anywhere else that can tempt you, such as Dairy Queens, juice bars, and so on. Let's address eating out in general. Restaurants. Restaurant servings have become out of control. An occasional treat is fine, but if you eat out often, you need to develop an overall strategy for portion control. Here are a few tips. Visualize the divisions on the 9-inch plate. Order 2 appetizers instead of an entree, such as soup and a dinner salad or shrimp cocktail. Split a meal with your dining companion. Don't rely on the chef or waiter to serve you the proper amount of food. Surveys show that people generally eat everything that's put in front of them, whether they want it or not. Wow. Ask for a leftovers container right when you place your order. When your meal comes, eyeball your proper portion right away and put the rest into the box to take home. Love that. Stay away from cream sauces and soups, butter, oil, breaded, Alfredo sauce, gravy, anything battered or fried. Blackened entrees are usually dipped in butter or oil covered with spices and pan-fried with a higher probability of toxic effects on our health. Wow. Don't be afraid to take charge of your meal. Choose only lean cuts of red meat such as loin and flank. If you're having chicken, remember that white meat contains less fat. Ask for your meat, fish, or poultry to be prepared with minimal oil and butter or prepared light. Have the chef trim all excess fat before cooking, and be sure to remove the skin from poultry before you eat. Request that vegetables be steamed with no added sugar or butter. Optimal cooking methods are baked, broiled, grilled, poached, or steamed. And of course, fresh is best. Now let's go to your bedroom. Finally, we're at your bedroom. All right, healthy surroundings. Ready your bedroom. Cool. Creating an environment that optimizes sleep quality is critical to good health. In fact, several studies confirm that poor sleep directly contributes to poor eating habits. We'll spend considerable time in phase 2 on this macro habit. Okay, cool. Giving you tips to improve your sleep. But right now, here are a few simple steps to make your bedroom more conducive to healthy sleeping. Cool. Organize your bedroom and put away clutter. If you have a TV in your bedroom, remove or unplug it. Choose a bedtime that means you get 8 hours of sleep and stick with it. Keep your room cool while you sleep. Never eat in bed. Understand the importance of making changes in your surroundings so you are no longer reliant on willpower to make good choices and stay away from bad ones. Okay. Awesome. So that was element 7 again. It's just basically going over about creating a new leptogenic world. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'm also going to show you an unboxing for my second month in this video. Okay, so I'm going to be doing the unpackaging on my month 2 box for Optavia. Hope you enjoy. By the way, it's going to be pretty much the same thing as the first box. I really loved everything, and the things that I didn't love at first grew on me. So the second box is pretty much the same. If you haven't seen my first unboxing video, then this should be new to you. Enjoy! We got some creamy chocolate shake. Yum! My favorite. My second favorite. Love these.